Welcome back. This is going to be a lesson that's split into two parts to follow the district calendar. We will do up to a 5.2 today. Next time we'll finish it off, and you'll be able to use Desmos a bunch in this lesson. So definitely consider getting your Desmos out. I'm setting mine up as we speak. Not setting up, just getting it ready to go. All right. Looking at the warm-up, this is a great warm-up. I definitely recommend getting another sheet of paper, as I am doing right now. I'm gonna do the first two as a distribution property type of thing. I'm gonna get the first one down. X plus 1 times X plus 2. Remember, we did this with the box method. Zoom in a little bit. We did this with the box method. We draw our little box. X plus 1 goes on the top. Don't forget that there's an imaginary 1 plus 1. X plus 2 goes on the side. Imaginary 1x plus 2. And then we just multiply. 1 times 1 is just 1. There's 2 x's. 1, 2 becomes x to the power 2. 1 times 1 is just 1. There's only 1x, so I only need 1x right there. 1 times 2 is 2. 1x, just need 1. 2 times 1 is 2, and we're good to go. I know last time I just circled this and you would just write it out. If you want to, you could bring out all these answers and you'll see the like terms right here in the middle, because these are both x's, and obviously you just add them. Remember, you don't need this 1 in the beginning, so you just have x squared. 2 plus 1 is 3 plus 2. And there's my answer. Okay? Take a moment to digest that. Gonna do number 2. Right underneath it. Number 2 in your book or your worksheet. You know what, let's make it interesting. Let's do number 3. Let's do number 3 instead. 2x minus 3, x minus 4. Box. 2x on top with the minus 3 right there. Imaginary 1x minus 4. I'm saying minus, but we need to make sure we can differentiate between the differences when I bring this out to negative 3, when I bring this out to negative 4, okay? I'm gonna start multiplying. 2 times 1 is 2. x1 makes x to the power of 2. 1 times negative 3 gives me a negative 3. Don't be afraid to use your calculator. x1 is by itself. Can't forget the x. 2 times negative 4, use your calculator, negative 8. X by itself, don't forget that x. Negative 4 times negative 3, use your calculator one more time. Positive 12. Gonna rewrite all this right here. 2x to the power 2 with a negative 8x with a negative 3x and a positive 12. These are my like terms. Negative 8 minus negative 3, negative 11x. Bring down the 2x to the power 2 and the plus 12. Definitely do the other two problems. Number 4 is just itself twice, so put x plus 2 times x plus 2, and you do the same process. Okay, how much time we're at? We're at 4 minutes. Let's look at this real quick. I'm gonna do the getting started on the same video, just so we can save some time. In the previous lessons, you multiplied two linear expressions, which is what we just did, to form a quadratic expression. You have also rewritten quadratics in factor form, meaning going backwards. You may remember that one way to factor an expression is to factor out the greatest common factor. So highlight that word, circle it, underline it, greatest common factor. That means that there's a similarity between the two things that we're looking at and we want to take it out. Okay, so for the worked example, let's look at it. So consider the polynomial 3x plus 15. You can factor something out. And right here, it's telling us the greatest common factor is 3. As you can see, I can divide this by 3 and I can divide this by 3. Okay. It looks a little funky right here. It's not the best ideal thing, but we should be able to see that this divided by 3 and this divided by 3 gives me something else, which is right here. Because I know once I divide those by 3, I'm taking out this 3, creating this. Because if I decided to go backwards one more time, if I say, you know what, I want to go back to normal, I'm just going to distribute. 3 times x gives me this. 3 times 5 gives me this. So we're just trying to figure out what's the common number, and then we're going to factor it out. Okay, going to roll through the first couple problems. Of course, if you need to pause the video so you can look at the examples, you go ahead and do that. A lot of remembering the divisions, okay? Making sure that we know this can be divided into something. I know automatically right here, everyone's going to say, oh, I can divide that by 2. And you're right. But don't forget that we can also go all the way to the first number that's given to us, 4. Can 4 go into 12? Yes, most definitely. If I divide both of them by 4, 4 divided by 4 gives me the 1, which is just x. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Don't forget we divided by 4. There it is. Don't do letter B just yet. Let's do letter C. Letter C, looking at my first value, 3. Yes, it does go into 9. Yes, it does go into 3. 3, 3, 3. 3 divided by 3 just gives me x to the 2. Negative 9 divided by 3 just gives me negative 3x. Negative 3 divided by 3 just gives me negative 1. Don't forget, since we divide by 3, I have to put it in front of the parentheses. Letter B is a little bit difficult because this doesn't have a number. I mean, it's a 1, but 1 divided by anything is just going to give me the same number. So we got to take a deeper breath, a deeper understanding to it. Both of these have x's, so I can divide by x for both of them, and I could factor out this x. Because x to the power 2 over x looks something like this. I know we covered this. X to the power 2 over x just gives me x times x over x. And we did this before where those cancel out. So what's left over? My x. So x over 2 over x is just x. Negative 5 over x, these cancel. So we just have this minus 5. What do we divide by? This x. Very, very, very weird problem. Definitely star it up. Ask a question just because, you know, this is a very interesting problem. Letter D. Remember, please pause the video if you must. Letter D is another weird problem. Because this is a negative 1, there are no other x's to divide by, so I have to divide by this negative 1. Divide by negative 1, divide by negative 1. Negative 1 divided by negative 1 just gives me that x. -7 divided by -1 gives me a +7. You know what? Let's start this up too. Very interesting. What did we divide by? -1. I'll leave letter F for you because that's not too difficult. And letter E, little weird because I can say the same thing. I can't divide by x's because there's no x over here. 2 does not go into 11. So what's this? Non-factorable. Okay. Terrific. 10-minute video. Sorry about the length. Going on to 5.1.